All right, welcome back to another 10 Minutes with episode. This is actually our third one we're recording this week, so I'm pumped up. I'm ready to go. Kate's here. Today we are introducing the co-hosts of the House of Hockey podcast. Please welcome Rae Rae and Breezy. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So your show started relatively recently. You've been through a few episodes so far. You've actually had our good friend Elena on the show already, who's actually been on this show too.
Elena, I love Elena. I just talked to her the other day, and she's one of my housewives. I just made a mock Real Housewives video, and she is a diehard Real Housewives fan, and I am too. So I love Elena.
I did see that, and it popped up on my Instagram feed yesterday. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, a little spoof
Yes,
quarantine action.
I did laugh out loud at that. That was very funny. I've never seen it, but I still laughed out loud at it. It was very good.
Yeah, Elena is awesome. She is such a hockey fan, and I love her story of how she got into it and sort of essentially living in a town that doesn't really have a lot of hockey, and especially not the team that she cheers for, which I find even more fascinating.
Which, if you want that story, you can head back and check a few episodes back and see it for yourself.
There you go. Or tune into our podcast, right?
Exactly. So, speaking of podcasts, how did the two of you meet, and why did you start a podcast together?
Yeah, so I think Rae Rae ultimately ended up DMing me on Instagram on the Hunks of Hockey page, and we ended up meeting up at a hockey game. I had a suite at a Kings game, so I invited her, and we first met there, and we kind of just hung out and talked, and we knew we wanted to work together. We just didn't know what we wanted to do, and ultimately, it was about a year later, Rae Rae?
Yeah, about a year after we had stayed in touch and kept trying to figure out other ways to work together. And yeah, about a year, it all fell into place. And the guys who run the network that we're on, the Hockey Podcast Network, had approached me, and I was like, Breezy, I know you want to do a podcast too. You've got to meet these guys. And then I introduced her, and they were like, you two know each other and you're friends. Why aren't you doing this together? And we're like, yeah, we should do this together. And that's how it was born. We came up with the name together after a lot of brainstorming, and we just clicked.
And it kind of came together somewhat quick too. I mean, we went through a lot of names, but everything else kind of fell into place, and the rest has been pretty smooth sailing so far.
Yeah, it actually launched right when quarantine happened, basically. We were in the process of doing this before everything changed with the world, and it just was we were going to launch regardless of whatever happened, and we went full force with it. We've done I don't know when you're going to air this, but so far we've got 13 episodes out. We do one a week every Tuesday, and we love it. I love it. Do you love it, Breezy?
I love it. It's fun.
So what would a listener expect to hear listening to your podcast?
I'll go. It's a hockey lifestyle podcast. We don't really do play-by-play action of games. That was never really our plan, even before the season got shifted and everything like that. But we do talk about news in the hockey world and important or cool or interesting things that would happen in a game, hypothetically, because we haven't had a game to actually talk about since we started. But we will, hopefully, maybe in August. However, we love doing interviews with people from all of the different areas of the hockey lifestyle. Everything from ex-players, fans like Elena. We've talked to people in the UK about what ice hockey is like there and how different it is. We've talked to Lindsay Fry, who is Team USA women's Olympic medalist, and her experience. We just love talking to people who are involved in this beautiful sport and community that we love so much, and try to really figure out what is it about hockey that is so unique and different with the people who support it and love it and watch it? Because there is something uniquely different. And we've covered a wide range, Breeze, don't you think?
Yeah, and it's crazy because I feel like every single person we've talked to has been so different from every other person, but they all have similarities in some way. And so it's been really cool to talk to so many different people and see both sides of it.
Yeah, like Instagram kind of Insta famous hockey people. And we talked to an emergency backup goalie for the Nashville Predators. That was a cool interview to just hear that experience. So some of the other aspects of the game that you wouldn't necessarily go looking for per se, we go looking for those and like to share those other aspects of the hockey community.
One of the things I've noticed you've done, and I've actually participated in now, is the fan meeting their player stories. Can you tell a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, that's right. Hello. Yeah, I thought Breezy and I both, when we started this, we really wanted to make sure to include fans and fan perspective and interaction in some way, shape, or form. I don't really remember how this came up, but I just was like, we need to get people to call us and tell us their fan stories of meeting an NHL player, because so many fans of hockey have met players, because the players, I think, are the best of all the professional players, and they're so accessible and willing and friendly and kind, and they want to talk to you and they want to shake your hand and take a picture and do all of that. So we set up a hotline. Oh crap, I don't have it pulled up. Sorry, am I not supposed to say that word?
No, you can say whatever.
Oh God. Okay.
At least dictate the language.
Okay, at least I didn't drop the F-bomb, which that also is something that happens on our podcast. But Breezy does not swear.
I do not.
She does not curse. But we set up a...
Just kidding.
You don't?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm going to go ahead and call bullshit on that, Kate.
Okay. But we set up a phone number where fans with a great story from either an NHL player, past or present, they can just call the phone number, leave a voicemail, and tell us your story about the player. And you did that, DJ, and we aired one of your stories on the podcast.
Well, in post, I'll put the phone number on the screen for everybody. So as you're seeing this, watching this live, the phone number is right there. So be sure to call them.
Thank you. Yeah, I haven't memorized that one yet. I probably should, but it's fairly new that we've introduced this. But it's been really cool because there's been a wide range of stories from people as well of meeting players in very unique situations, like at an airport, and like your story, DJ. It's just so different. Because you met Sakic in Nashville.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is like, huh? How does that happen, you know?
Yeah, I stalked the team bus and found out what hotel they were staying at.
Not creepy at all.
You know what? I wasn't the only one standing outside the hotel. Let's just say that. But the thing that you can't tell on the phone is I had this real bad problem with sitting still when I'm on the phone. And I was actually in this room the entire time I'm on, just pacing around this spot because I can't sit still.
I can't sit still either, don't worry.
But yeah, what else do we talk about on the podcast? Well, we do a little bit of, because of quarantine, we do just sort of like short life update at the beginning, because there isn't really any hockey news per se to talk about, or amazing crazy plays or highlights to talk about and offer our opinions on. And I've actually started learning how to play hockey during quarantine, which is insanity. And Breezy's been doing a lot of other stuff too. What else have you been learning? Photography. You've played a little bit, right?
Yeah, just keeping going, and we touch on all aspects of our personal lives. We try to get to know each other a little bit more, because even though we are friends, there's still so much that we don't even know about each other, and we like to poke fun and maybe crack a joke or two, and we just wanted to be something that you can kind of listen to and have fun, or background noise if you may. but yeah, we just try to make it a fun place, just like our personal Instagram accounts, and yeah, just keep it all about hockey as much as possible.
Yeah.
So what's a piece of advice both of you would give a new podcaster who's starting out?
You go, Breeze.
Good question.
Because this is your first foray into this, right, Breeze?
Yeah. So I've always been pretty hesitant to even start anything. I hate the sound of my own voice. I never like being on camera. So for this, I think, if you have a passion, you just got to do it. And I think for me, it's kind of helped kind of bring you out of your shell a little bit. So I would say biggest learning curve, and what you should do is just take that leap of faith and do it, and just put everything you have towards it and have fun with it.
I would agree with that. I've tried podcasting once before, and what I learned from that was, if you have a partner, make sure that you're on the same page as far as what do you want to talk about, what's the content, what are the questions, if you will, what's the purpose of what you're doing, and make sure you're in alignment on that, and that you're really both going to support each other as partners, because it's a lot of work. It takes time, just like anything else that you devote to, and know that you have to put in the effort. And there was something else. Oh, if you have guests on, not all the guests are going to be the same and have the same personality, or be maybe as interesting or not as interesting. So don't worry about that. You've got to just try it. You've got to interview everybody, and people will listen.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's having the household names is nice. It's not achievable, or it's not a realistic goal when you're getting started and you're just trying to get that. But that day you land your first household name, oh man, it's just, I mean, we've had a couple on our show, and it just, every time it's just can't.
So right now you're like, oh my God,
yes,
the ladies of the House of Hockey are here.
This is not exaggerated. No.
But
No,
yeah.
A few weeks ago, we spent 40 minutes on the phone with the Chicago Cubs play-by-play radio announcer, Pat Hughes. And somebody who I've, listened to on the radio for now, will be 25 seasons when the season starts up again. Now, somebody's phone's ringing.
No, it's my computer.
Kate.
It's live, baby. Also, that's another tip. When you're recording, shit happens, right?
Mute.
Phones ring, dogs bark, kids open doors. Don't worry about it. Laugh it off, move on. And it's just real life. What are you going to do? You can always edit it in post.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the IRS is trying to reach me because they have a warrant for my arrest or something. That how you get off the phone.
So usually,
and utilize your mute button. Know where your mute button is, so when the dogs start barking at everybody, her dog will start to bark all of a sudden, and I'm like, and I quickly hit the mute button, and I just wait it out, and hope that I'm not talking.
Usually, if my phone's ringing during the show, it's Kate texting me saying, "Shut up, you're talking too much." I'm making an effort to try not to do that. But anyway, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm sure we've blown past our 10 minutes. Like I said, it's a brand. We don't follow it per se. Most of the shows have blown way past 10 minutes. So where can we find the show, and where can we find you on social media?
Breezy, you do it.
Yeah, so you can find us pretty much anywhere podcasts are available. We are at House of Hockey Podcast, and you can find us again on Instagram and Facebook. It's just at House of Hockey Podcast. Twitter is at House of Hockey _, and you can find Rae Rae at The Hockey Lady, and you can find me at Hunks of Hockey.
And we are on the Hockey Podcast Network along with 30 some odd other podcasts. There's one for each team, and then there's a couple other that are like Breezy and I's, where we're not just one team specific. Oh, we didn't tell you who our teams are. Should we tell you? I feel like we need to tell everybody who we support, even though we love hockey. I'm a Chicago Blacks. What?
I said, please do.
Oh, I am a Chicago Blackhawks fan. Period. That's it. One team. Breezy.
I mean, I follow so many teams. Honestly, I follow 3 teams pretty heavily. I do not miss a game, so I follow the Kings, the Preds, and the Maple Leafs, and ... whoever's next.
Quite a variety there.
Yeah.
I understand. I mean, it's I Blackhawks. I support the team, number one. But I mean, I want the Coyotes to stay here because I just have to drive to the other side of the valley when the Blackhawks come to town. I don't want to have to go up to Vegas or go out to LA. So, for selfish reasons, please stay. Please.
Hey, do you follow hockey?
Yeah, not as much as I should, but I do. And
You're a Blackhawks fan? Because yeah, good. All right, we can be friends.
Yay!
On a side note, the Coyotes owner gave an interview yesterday saying that they're still looking for a new arena, and that's the big situation. That's a whole different topic for another day. But he ended it saying, "We are staying in Arizona. I guarantee it." I'm just like, I've heard that line before with the Raiders, the Rams, the Atlanta Thrashers. All
That's a
teams
bold statement.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't like when they say that. But anyway, again, Breezy, Rae, thank you for being on the show. And check out the House of Hockey podcast on video and as a podcast, by the way. Hockey Podcast Network, also featured on StadiumScene.tv. Self-plug there. And then for the rest of you, follow us at Stadium Scene on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. I'm not talking about TikTok. Hey, just trying to get us to do TikTok. I absolutely refuse.
We're not there. Are we going to be there? Do we have to do that, Breezy? I defer all social media questions to her first. TikTok? Do we have to TikTok?
I don't know. I'm not doing it.
I don't really want to. Sorry.
I magically reached that age threshold where I had to ask somebody how to do something on their phone. I'm like, oh no, I'm one of those people now. But yeah, Stadium_Scene on Instagram, and check out StadiumScene.tv. Join the network, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.